Hello, guys. It's me, Butterfly Spirit 314. So guys, today is my birthday. Yay! And I did make another live earlier today. I think it was about like 8 something this morning when I made the live. So I did go to my sensual movement class, and I had a really super fun time. The class really didn't go like I thought it was gonna go. Turns out I didn't even end up wearing my heels, even though I brought them, my 7-inch pole dance heels. And I didn't even end up using my knee pads at all either. In this particular class, it focused on movement. So when we first started out the class, we started off with a warm up. And the warm up that we did, it was about really focusing on us like feeling our bodies like move, and like focusing on shifting our weight from side to side, moving the hips, and noticing like our the feelings of movement in like our hips and chest and spine and legs and stuff. It was a different type of move up. I found it to be a very calming and really soothing and spiritual experience. It was really cool that way. And we learned about dancing, but dancing in terms of not so much overthinking about the movements we're doing, but focusing on the feeling of the dance. How does it feel when we move certain parts of our body? Does our body like the movements we're doing? You know? And it was really about shutting the mind off and really just letting the body move. And we did learn a routine that was rather easy, but the routine was really about us just kind of just checking in with ourselves inwardly. And my instructor for this class, Carmen Black, she was really a sweet instructor. In my last videos, I've mentioned that she is an elite level pole dancer, and seeing her movements and how she shifted her weight was very like beautiful. The way she moved was beautiful. It was very sensual and sexy and fluid, and it was just like she was very in tune with her body. And when I saw her move and like do the routine and shift her weight and things, like it was amazing to see in person, you know. You probably don't know, but I'm just saying, you know. So it was a really good experience. And I really have not focused on like moving my hips and pole dancing or any other type of dance or anything, but I became more aware of it in, you know, the movement. And through the choreography, there was a point where um, we all ended up like dancing with our eyes closed, and like there was groups of us, and like one by basically like there's groups. I was a three, and basically when my number was called, I would, you know, learn like basically move through the sequence of the routine. And I found it to be nice. And many of you might be asking, you know, how many people were in your class? There was maybe like 15 girls maybe in my class. And like me, there were a lot of girls like myself. A lot of them were scared. You had a few of them were confident, but you had a lot of us girls that were scared, and worried. And the thing was, during our choreography, people who were kind of sitting down and they were watching us, what they were doing is they were observing us. But I noticed that I wasn't so worried about anybody observing me or seeing me as we were like dancing to the music when it was like my turn, because I completely forgot they were there. Because I was learned that it's okay to close my eyes. It's okay for me to like check in with myself and vibe to the music and stuff and go with the flow of it, and what feels good and safe with me. There was a part in the class where I was doing body waves, and my instructor, Carmen, um, she was trying to lead me. So, what she was doing was to teach me how to move. Um, it's going to get a little sexy right here. She basically came up behind me. So she comes up behind me. She asked me if she can touch me. I said yes. And she comes up behind me. She said, I'm going to come really close up next to you. So she comes behind me, way close behind me. And basically, she's really close up behind me. And she is moving like she's behind me and I'm following her body movements because she's really close up behind me. So if this is me, like she is like literally right behind me. Okay, she's like right behind me and she's moving with me while I'm on the pole. And it was like the closest I've ever had anybody come up to me on the pole. So she was like right behind me and she was leading my body. And she said, okay, I want you to follow my body. So when you feel me close up behind you, I'm going to follow you, and I'm going to come in close to your body and stuff. I feel like when she was teaching me how to do the body waves, and she was like, I can feel her body behind me and I can feel her stomach on my back and everything. Like, wow. I was like, whoa. I was like, hey, this, wow, I'm like, well, hey, that's one way to teach, where somebody's, they pressed up against you type of thing and they're leading your body. And I was doing body waves and she was doing them and she was like leading my body and teaching my body kind of how to do it. Oh my gosh, that was really something to have my instructor leading me in dance like that. And I found it to be very um, sexy, if you will. But I can feel her energy and how like she was calm and everything. And I felt really safe when she was guiding me or whatever. Um, I find that this class was really eye opening. One reason because I got to learn about when I'm doing movements, not just, to check in with myself and see how I'm doing. And, not just focus so much outwardly on what other people are thinking about me, but to focus on how do I feel, focus on the beat of the music. And if I'm scared, to close my eyes and just feel my way through it and enjoy it. So I found it interesting too as I was watching other girls do the sequences and stuff. I found it rather interesting to observe how different girls did this same routine, but how each of our bodies would move different. And there was somebody in the class was like, everybody's moving in a seamless way without even noticing it. It was like everybody's like those of us that are on the pole during the routine and those folks were sitting down, like the ones of us who were on the pole, it was like we were moving seamlessly together and our energies connected. So I found the experience to be very nice and really cool and things. And I realized I have to learn to loosen up and enjoy it and have a good time with it too. And I feel like I'm gonna take this along with me as I go along. I'm gonna take the experience of really try to be present in the movements. How do I feel when I'm doing something? Do I vibe with the music? And I think when I was doing a sequence of a combo and I was following the music was upbeat and stuff, and I liked it, and it had jazz in it. And I realized it was like, I mean, I like jazz music, but I realized like my body was like, I felt all into it and like, yes, I can do that. And I think this class was definitely for me. I wish I would have got a chance to take the vanity class, but I wasn't able to do that. But I'm okay with it. I think that the things I'm going to take with me are going to be present when I do pole dance and everything like that and chair dance going forward. So I really enjoyed my experience. I really liked it. It was worth every penny. And it's rare for me to say that about a class, but it was worth every penny, you know. And I enjoyed it. And I want to take more classes about movement and learning and stuff too. And realize that it's okay to be vulnerable. Like there are girls that were afraid to be vulnerable in class too. And they were like, oh my gosh, is it okay? And it is, you know. It's awesome, and I had a good time. Um, and it was very spiritual and uplifting and beautiful and awesome. So that was my experience and everything. Um, but yeah, that was my experience. Thanks for watching. Bye.